The Food and Drug Administration recently announced companies will be required to remove trans fats from their foods over the next few years. But what's a trans fat? Hey everyone, thanks for watching D-News Today. I'm Trace. Trans fats get a lot of bad press, but that's because fat is a tough cookie. Some are good for you, some are bad for you. Fat isn't just fat, and there's a lot of different kinds of fat, and each type manifests differently, and it is complicated. Fats coat membranes. They store energy, they protect vital organs, and they insulate tissues. The word lipid is a general term for a group of hydrocarbons, that is to say, a string of carbon atoms surrounded by hydrogen atoms, which includes all fats and many other basic molecules in the body. Triglycerides, cholesterols, and vitamins like A, D, E, and K, they're all lipids. Different fat sources each form chains a little differently, and those arrangements change how your body processes them. The three main lipids you hear about in the food world are saturated fats, unsaturated fats, and trans fats. Picture a parking lot. If the hydrogen atoms are the cars, saturated fats are saturated, or filled with hydrogen. All the spots are full. Unsaturated fats have some spaces here or there, and the shape of the molecules will determine their behavior. So some of the spots are empty. Saturated fats are solid at room temperature because the filled up molecules are more rigid. They usually come from animals, but are also found in coconut and palm oil. Whereas unsaturated fats have more room for hydrogen, which allows the molecules to bend and fold over. This folding allows them to stay liquid at room temperatures, so you can think of them as oils. These mostly come from plants and are sometimes just called vegetable oils. So like olive oil, corn oil, and peanut oil are all unsaturated fats. Mono-unsaturated fats are called good fats. They're much easier to produce, so companies came up with a way to convert these liquid lipids to solids in a process called hydrogenation. Hydrogenated oils have been chemically altered to move the hydrogen around and fill up more of the empty parking spaces in that chain. They try to make cheaper plant fats look and behave more like expensive animal fats. Think of like margarine or shortening. Because they have to alter the hydrogen bonds, these hydrogenated oils are also known as trans fats. Up until the 1980s, saturated animal fats like beef tallow were used to make delicious French fries, until it was thought saturated fats could raise levels of bad or low-density lipoprotein cholesterol, essentially causing an increase in heart disease. The public was alarmed, so companies switched to partially hydrogenated vegetable oil, or shortening. Recently, studies like the one in the Annals of Internal Medicine from last year show that saturated fat is not nearly the demon it was made out to be, and it might be entirely neutral in our diet. But that trans fat is just terrible. It is the worst, causing increases in LDL cholesterol, bad cholesterol, and decreases in high-density lipoprotein, or good cholesterol. In fact, studies have found diets high in trans fats correlate with memory loss, heart disease, and, of course, weight gain and obesity. Overall, the FDA ban might be a little late to the party. From 2003 to 2012, the amount of trans fats consumed has dropped 78%, mainly due to food labeling. But it's better late than never, I guess, right? Commonly, you hear people say everything in moderation, which works for saturated and unsaturated fats. But for trans fats, no way, none. The CDC says to keep trans fatty acid consumption as low as possible. That is huge. What is your favorite type of good fat? Avocados? Nuts? Olive oil? I love olive oil. It's the best. Also, have you nominated us for a Streamy Award yet? Because what are you waiting for? Go do it. We've got a link in the description down below, making it real easy for you, even if you're on your phone. Make sure you let us know down in the comments what you think about fats, and subscribe for more D-News.